Salam Baku, Azerbaijan has had its first rehearsal at Eurovision 2024. Should we talk about it? Let's do
Let's do
this.
this.
You guys, the artist is FAHREE singing with Ilkin, and they have a very atmospheric, romantic, traditional meets modern ballad. You hear traditional instrumentation. It's got a spiritual quality. I'd say this song is more of a vibe than a traditional song, kind of verse, chorus. You're kind of swept up into this spirituality, I guess. And it's nice to hear some of the Azeri language at Eurovision as opposed to having them sing in English. Now, it's very sleek, very gray, and very expensive. I don't think they spared expense on this. Like the costuming fits. It's giving me sort of high fashion Matrix. That's on FAHREE. And then Ilkin, he's got some, what is this, metallic embellishments. He ain't going to airport security in that. Let's just say that. Very nice. And then there are these massive hands. They appear to be massive hands on the stage, kind of cupping him. This song is about, it's okay to be a man and to have emotions, basically. It's about your journey to getting in touch with your own vulnerabilities. And you know what? The most masculine thing you can do, getting in touch with those feelings, okay? I think and they're conveying that on T. So, yeah, it's a little cold, not gonna lie. It's a little sterile, because sometimes when things are so slick and so polished, it's the Sweden effect we've sometimes seen, like with Benjamin and Grosso. If it's too polished, it may have a distance for people. But no, we need to see more to see what the surprise is with these hands. I just have a feeling something else is going on. Luis.
Yeah, I feel like the hands, it took me a while to notice that the hands were actually real at the end, because at the beginning of the video you see the hands in the back wall, but then at the very end it looks like they're real. So I'm very curious about how they do that, how they just pull them up from within the public to the stage. Also, I feel like what I got from these photos and video and the outfits, it's like the darker version of Cengiz Mustafayev in 2019. It's giving me that the kind of robotic costumes in a while, futuristic, the silver, the gray. It gave me that. The song itself, I mean, I find it curious that they entered this song to Eurovision, because I feel it's like a very, it's actually quite relaxing. Like I do really enjoy the Azeri part, but I feel like it's very much laid back. So I'm not sure if it's high impact enough to qualify, but maybe they gave that with a stage performance.
I must say, when I first saw the pictures, I did not understand what they were going for, especially knowing the meaning behind the song. Two men in touch with their emotions, and then you give me like this Star Trek inspired staging in some ways. Don't get me wrong, I think it's very striking visually, but I also think it's very dark. And I think there's kind of like a distancing between what the song actually means to what we are actually seeing on stage. And I think it will be important from them, also from a PR standpoint, moving forward with their interviews and every content that they put on social media, to try and build a bridge to fill on this gap. Because people I feel like not a lot of people will understand what the song is about, particularly because it's not even sung in English, right? So, yeah, I think it's a misfire here in some ways. I don't know. I'm very conflicted about this, William.
I need enunciation. I think there's English here in some parts, but I can't actually understand it. So I think there needs to be some elocution practice. And I do like the flowing moves in the video. It's very smooth how he's moving. So there's great potential. But it's curious, we had just filmed Moldova a few minutes ago. And in the second half, if we look at, who's bringing something traditional, something that reflects their culture, you've got Moldova, Azerbaijan, and Australia and Portugal all together. And those are the four songs that are giving me culture. And I think Moldova's feels the most, to me, sort of raw, like it's the most organic, whereas Azerbaijan's is super polished, and Portugal is a good mix of like raw and polished. And so I don't have a point to this, but I'm just saying by being the most polished and potentially sterile of those acts, because I don't think all three of these can go through. I don't think Moldova, Azerbaijan, and Australia can go through. I think one of them has to fall, and it's very unlikely. I mean, they all have an uphill battle, I think. But I don't know. I tend to think Moldova and Australia give me a bit more spirit, a bit more. I know, but this has improved for me. The Azerbaijani act to me is better live than it is studio. So, Luis.
Yeah, for me, the thing is, Azerbaijan also comes after Sweden, because Sweden is going to be performing between Moldova and Azerbaijan. And that's an advantage for them, or maybe not, because if people talk too much about Sweden's very slick performance, then maybe this might be 2023 repeated, where Azerbaijan's entry was talked over by Sweden's just previous performance. But also, if Sweden's comes across as very sterile in a way that, like Benjamin Ingrosso did, for example, I do think that they might have a better chance of standing out, because they're actually singing something more from the heart. I don't really get if the station reflects that at all. But at least the chorus and the singing in Azeri is very, like, you feel it's very authentic to them. So I do see that some people will connect with this. But yeah, it's hard to tell if they can actually qualify this year. I think they're going to struggle a little bit.
And Bernardo, my love, you're sideways. Do you want to give us
You're upside down, yeah.
Give us that flexibility, like Angoon's dancers and
exactly.
Am I good? Yeah, am I good now? I'm good now. Yeah, I do. I think the three of us are in agreement that there's absolutely no issue with the execution here.
Yeah.
It's more about the intent of the song. Is this clear enough? I think, will I understand the meaning of the song, and will the staging help me figure that out? I don't think it does. If we're taking like a cold look at it, I don't think it does. And taking in consideration what we just reviewed a couple of minutes ago, Moldova, which I think it's much more brighter. It has a lot of personality because she has a lot of personality. I think this might fall in a vacuum of non-qualification, to be honest with you. And it's sad because I do think the execution is flawless, and everything is very pristine, and you think like everything is choreographed. They have like small choreographic moments as well, choreographed moments, sorry. So I do believe there was really an effort here. And I'm sorry that I don't think it connects as it should.
All right, well said. I think the fact, you don't want to be left puzzled by a performance. You want to be left with something you grabbed onto. So I think that says everything. All right, well, that's what we think. What do you think? Can Azerbaijan make it to the final with a super slick performance? Are you feeling the emotion, and do you get the message? Let us know if you're masculine and vulnerable here on Wiwibloggs.
And use your hands, which might not be as big as theirs, to like our social media posts and follow us there.
And don't forget to click on the notification bell to get all the updates from the Emporia Lounge in Malmo, starting, I believe, tomorrow or in 2 days. William, correct me if I'm wrong.
We start on May 3rd with Australia and Australia. We'll see you later.
We'll get these beautiful faces in Malmo starting tomorrow. Yeah.
Yay. Oh yes, but we'll be there. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.